Now let's see the planning, selecting, and reviewing the implementation process. The following are the 8 steps of implementation process. First, we familiarize ourselves with ISO 9001. It's like we try to understand what is ISO 9001 is all about. So, a structure for the core requirements of a QMS is provided by ISO 9001, but it is also flexible to suit businesses of all types. Understanding how the standard applies particularly to your business is important. This flexibility will help you to meet the set out requirements in such a way that makes meaning of for your organization. So here you first get top management on board. It's like you involve them into the implementation process by you know uh, giving them the things which are required, the information which are required to implement the process, and asking their suggestions and advices. By that, you find out where you stand. Then do you do a gap analysis, where you are trying to understand where is the gap in the implementation of process, where your performance is not able to reach up to the mark. And step 2, you plan everything out for implementation. For making the transition to a new system, having a solid plan is vital. The process will be much easier to get through when you have the right people on the job. A work plan will be created by your team that will set your business up for success. So here you decide on the implementation team. That is, you create implementation team. That is nothing but your quality team. And you identify the core and support processes. You create a plan, and then you get everyone involved by creating an awareness and communicating the quality policies and objectives to the entire organization. You identify responsibilities and policies and objectives. In your company, the quality policy is an integral part of keeping your business committed to meet objectives and focus on the satisfaction of the customer. The quality policy is one of the key things that can be utilized for measuring your organization while determining your QMS success. Then step 4, we develop documentation for the same. For an ISO 9001 to be certified, keep records of your QMS is needed. So you need to make sure that you need to keep all kind of records and documentations which are required for ISO 9001. Earlier we saw what kind of procedures are required and how it needs to look. So we discussed everything earlier. There are certain documents you are required to keep and others which may just be helpful in keeping everything running as it should. Generally, according to the importance of documents, organizing and preparing the document is done. At the top, you have your quality manual, and there are procedure documents. Third, there are work instructions. And lastly, you have your forms and records. So, these are some important documents which you always need to have. Step 5, you launch your QMS. Now, all the work is done by you that is needed for setting up your business to success in transitioning to ISO 9001. All you have to do is launch your plan. Changes coming into action will be visible to you now, and to make sure that they go as planned, you will need to be mindful. So, you provide employee training, you do the implementation system, and also then you do an audit for the system or of the system, and you review your performance. Once you have finished your internal audit and your quality management program has been up and running for about 6 months, you will review your business success. The review will help the team to find out the potential problems and the corrective actions which needs to be implemented to meet the requirements of all. So here we conduct a management review, and then we do an implementation system changes, where if we try to understand if we are getting any kind of findings, if we are trying to understand that we have a flaw in the system, so we are trying to do some changes. So all that can be discussed at the time of management review. Then we assess and register for certification. Everything seems to be stable and ready to be registered after your QMS has been running for 3 months to 6 months. For becoming ISO 9001 certified, now is the time to carry on with the process of certification. So you go for a registration audit. You take corrective actions which are given by the external registrar. Then you do the corrective actions, and then you receive your certificate. And after that, you look into the continual improvement. The ISO 9001 standard requires that certified organizations continue to show progress in the efficiency of their quality management system. You should always aim to satisfy customers by identifying processes in your system which can be improved. Implement a system which makes continuous improvement easy to carry out for your team by following a repeating process of 4 steps to check up on your QMS. First, you plan out a timeline for internal audits and management reviews, very important. Then create a small sample of changes you wish to implement, and regularly check all products and processes against policies and customer requirements and put successful changes into action.